Hello everyone. If you're new here, welcome to the world behind midnight. Steel yourself, because tonight we descend into something that refuses to stay buried. For those who've walked this dark path with us before, thank you for returning to the shadows. Listen closely. What I'm about to tell you will sound impossible. The first time I heard the howling, it wasn't coming from the jungle. It came from inside me, low, trembling. A hunger that clawed at my ribs and whispered my name. I was alone on the dirt road leading into Serra du Luar, Mountain of the Moonlight. Locals told me not to go. They said the place didn't exist anymore, but curiosity is louder than fear, and I had come too far to turn back. The fog rolled in like a living thing, wrapping around my legs. Even Google Maps gave up. My screen just went black. That's when I realized the road beneath me wasn't on any map, and maybe never had been. I was there to photograph forgotten places, old villages, abandoned chapels, places swallowed by the jungle. But the deeper I went, the quieter the world became, as if the forest was listening. When I reached the village, it was dusk. Wooden houses leaned into one another, roofs sagging, windows blind with dust. A bell tower rose above everything, but there was no bell, just a hollow hole where sound used to live. I took a few photos. The air felt thick, heavy with something unseen. Each click of my camera echoed too loudly, and in one of those frames, something moved. A figure, crouched, twisted, eyes glinting in the fog. I blinked, gone, but the air hadn't changed. It felt like it was waiting. I found an inn, a crooked wooden house with a flickering lamp in the window. Inside, an old woman served me coffee in a chipped cup. Her hands trembled as she poured. "You shouldn't stay after full moon night," she said softly, her eyes fixed on the floor. I laughed, tried to sound casual. "Why not?" She didn't answer, just crossed herself, whispering in Portuguese. Then she said, "Every curse begins with disbelief," and she blew out the lamp. Darkness swallowed the room. That night, I went through my photos. Empty streets, cracked altars, peeling walls. But one image froze my breath. Behind me, in the frame, the same crouched figure, closer now, eyes brighter, almost human. I looked out the window. Nothing. Only mist. Only silence. Then, a sound, low, wet, not from outside, but beneath the floorboards. A growl that matched the rhythm of my heartbeat. I didn't sleep. By morning, the fog had thickened. The villagers moved like shadows. When I asked about the figure, they looked away. One man spat on the ground. "Don't follow the howls," he muttered. The baker told me a different story, one that made my skin crawl. A long time ago, a miner vanished during a blood-red moon. They said he made a pact. Something about eternal strength, eternal hunger. Animals started dying after that, and his descendants, they carried the curse. Every 7 generations, it returned. I wanted to leave, but the bridge out was gone, swallowed by mist and silence. That evening, I followed the path toward the forest. I told myself it was for research, but truthfully, something in me wanted to know. The forest was alive. Breathing, watching. Birds didn't sing. Even the air seemed to pulse. And then, I saw the chapel, half collapsed, tangled in vines. The door carved with symbols that looked burned into the wood. When I pushed it open, the air turned cold, like stepping into a grave that still remembered warmth. Inside, melted candles pooled like bones. The altar was covered in black ash, arranged in circles. And in a cracked mirror on the wall, I saw something behind me. A shape, familiar, breathing. I turned. Nothing. But the smell of wet fur lingered in the air. I left fast. The forest followed me with whispers. When I reached the inn, the old woman wouldn't look at me. Her voice trembled. "The 7th bloodline wakes," she said, "and it's hungry." That night, fever found me. Dreams twisted into flashes, teeth, claws, blood on the chapel floor. I woke with dirt beneath my nails. The next day, my camera was broken. Every photo blurred except one. a path glowing silver under the moonlight. At its end, 2 eyes, gold, patient. I followed the path. The forest shifted around me, trees bending as if to watch. Shadows stretched long and slow. I felt something tug at my chest, like a thread pulling me deeper. At the end of the trail, by a stream that shimmered red, he waited. The miner, or what was left of him, his skin cracked like stone, veins black as coal. His eyes weren't human, yet they recognized me. He whispered, "It's not the moon that changes us, it's what we hide from it." Then he vanished, melting into mist. But his words stayed, echoing, scratching at the inside of my skull. That night, the moon rose, swollen, bright, endless. My bones began to hum. My skin itched, split, healed, and the growl came back, not beneath my feet this time, but under my ribs. Blood whispered, "Run." I saw my reflection in the window. 2 faces, mine, and something else layered beneath it, waiting to surface. My fingers bent backward, nails blackened, breath thickened, pain bloomed into hunger. I screamed, but it wasn't my voice anymore. When I woke, the world was sharper. The forest smelled alive. Rain carried voices. My hands were no longer hands. Down in the village, doors slammed, lanterns flickered. Someone shouted, "He's here," and I realized they were right. The curse wasn't something I'd found, it had found me. Days blurred into nights. Weeks passed. I learned to move without sound, to hunt without thought. The hunger wasn't just for blood, it was for belonging. Sometimes I saw her, the old woman, through the trees. She'd stand by the chapel, holding a candle that didn't burn. Her eyes followed me, not in fear, but sorrow. I think she knew I wasn't gone, not entirely. One night, I returned to the chapel. The vines had grown thicker, wrapping the walls like veins. Inside, the mirror still waited. My reflection flickered half man, half shadow. Behind me, the miner's ghost whispered again. The curse doesn't end, it evolves. I pressed a silver coin to my skin. It burned, but didn't wound, only reminded me of what I'd become, half myth, half memory. Now, I travel under different names. Each full moon, the air hums with that same sound, between growl and grief. It reminds me the beast never sleeps. It just waits for darkness to remember my face. People lock their doors when I pass. Dogs bark and hide, they whisper, of homem do sétimo sangue. The man of the 7th bloodline. They're not wrong. I tell myself I still have control, that I choose when to hunt, when to stop. But every night, the forest calls me back. The moonlight feels like home, and when I hear the howls, far at first, then closer, then inside me, I remember the miner's words. It's not the moon that changes us. It's what we hide from it. Now I understand. The curse isn't a story. It's a mirror, and I'm what's on the other side. So if you ever find yourself near Serra do Luar, and you hear something moving in the fog, don't look for it. Don't follow the howls. Because some legends aren't stories, they're warnings. And I am still confessing mine. If you hear the howls after this, stay close to fire. And subscribe before the next full moon finds you.